What's up? The Mother Humping Armory channel. Yes, I'm still here. Been super busy. To me anyway. A friend of mine wanted to get an MPX. And he wanted it bad. So, I said, I'll tell you what. You buy my Gen 1 off me, and I'll just get the Gen 2. So I gave him a pretty good deal on it, and I got the Gen 2. A couple other of my buddies had a Gen 1 and got a Gen 2 also. The Gen 2 is a little different. There's a few things different about it. I'm not going to know everything that's different about it. There's probably other more thorough videos out there. I'm kind of winging it. But I could tell you a little bit differences that it has I do like. So this is a Gen 2 MPX. The Gen 2 MPX. Well, first I'll tell you what I did to it. I'm very happy with this Burris red dot. So far it's been great. I shoot this very often and it never loses zero so far. It's about 180 for that. I like how small it is. Keeps the gun light, keeps the gun small. I had an Aim Point Pro on there and it looked ridiculous. It looked like the fucking you know, a long salami sitting on top of my friggin' gun. It just looked ridiculous. It's just too big. So that's my phone. So I went with the Burris. The only thing I don't like about it is when you have to change the battery, it's kind of like a whole thing. It's a whole thing. You gotta take this off, you gotta take that off, you gotta take a little rubber fucking gasket out, and you know, other than that, it's really, really nice. I do not like how long it takes to change the battery. They need to work on that. But I'm really happy with how it's performing. It's friggin' awesome. I mean, you'll put bullets through the same hole with that red dot so far, okay, for wherever you have it sighted in for. The Gen 2 MPX. I'm just telling you what I did to it. I put the AR-15, more of a traditional AR-15 grip on there. I'm not a fan of the SIG grip. It's like too round feeling. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just don't like the way it feels. I like the Myod. I was always you guys know I'm always a fan of the Myod grip. So the Myod grip will go on here and it will fit. Magpul Myod grip will go on here, and I'm sure the MOE will go on there also. Any AR grip should go on here. Yeah, so that's what I did to it. Other than that, it's pretty much you know. I got the CAC system. I got the blade with the 12 adjustment buffer tube and the castle nut. If you're getting this, I'm talking to a friend right now that I know is buying this gun and they need these parts. When you're buying this, don't buy the whole kit. You don't need the buffer, you don't need the buffer spring, you don't need any of that. All you need is the blade all by itself. All you need is the buffer tube with the 12 adjustment divots in it all by itself, and a castle nut. That's it. 3 things that should cost you around 75 bucks. Because when you go on CAC's website, they have it with a kit too, like it's going on an AR or something, like with the spring and the buffer. You don't need any of that. Okay, so just make sure you don't order stuff and pay for stuff you don't have to. So the difference is with the 2 compared to the 1, I'm not sure internally what's different. I noticed a few things. I noticed the handguard fits a lot tighter. The Gen 1's kind of move around a little bit, which it's not a big deal. It's not going to go anywhere because there's a pin that goes through it and holds it on there. It'll just play. The Gen 2 has no play whatsoever. Also, the Gen 2 front rail, this is called a Keymod rail system, and it's really nice looking, and I like the way things attach. You just put them on, slide it forward, and tighten the screws. It's really neat. Everything stays tight too. You don't have to use Loctite because of the way the screws are kind of shaped like they have a sweep on them. So when you tighten it, it not only tightens down, it tightens around the sides too, like a flare. So I don't think you really need to use Loctite when you put anything on with this Keymod. I don't think so. I am changing the muzzle brake here, the flash hider. I'm going to put a cone on there which pushes the gases forward, and plus it looks friggin' awesome. Another thing different about the Gen 2, another thing you got to know about these MPXs, they have their own specific threads. So they don't have your typical AR-15 threads. They have their own threads. So if you get a muzzle brake, flash hider, or cone, whatever you want to put on there, make sure it says it's specifically for MPX. Or you might be very upset when you get it, because it ain't going to screw on. Another thing about the Gen 2. First, let's make it safe before we start handling it. I do have self-defense ammo in there. Okay, you see it's all clear, it's a safe gun. Okay, check. It's got a nice trigger. Now, the ejection port, if you notice, is a little bit bigger on the Gen 2 than it is the Gen 1. They say because if you want to convert it to a .40 caliber, now you have the proper size ejection port. Even if you have a 9mm, I like that it gives the brass more room to get out of there. So it's friggin' win there. The dust cover, believe it or not, is plastic. That's kind of strange. It is plastic. It's not a big deal. It ain't like this gets really stressed out or anything, but it's weird that is plastic. Maybe later they'll make a metal one and you can replace it. As far as the mag release buttons and the slide release buttons, they look the same size to me. I don't see they look any different size or any bigger or anything like that. The charging handle is a huge improvement. You got a ambi charging handle, so you can pull it from both sides, and it's extended out a little also. So you really can get a good hold on it. What I've noticed between this and the Gen 1, it still does it a little bit, but it doesn't bang on the ramp here on the receiver as much as the Gen 1. The Gen 1, after like 50 rounds, you'll start seeing metal. This is hitting it, but it's nowhere near as the Gen 1 hits it. That's not a big deal. If you have a Gen 1, just cut a little piece of like Talon grip tape and just stick it on there, and it'll act like a little bumper for you if you don't want your receiver to get all mangled up. Another thing they did with the Gen 2 is they scalloped out the Picatinny rail. You can see it in here. Now what I heard that's for is not only does it look nice, when you're sliding on your accessories, because it's not straight across and it has a little half moon cut out, there's less friction when you're sliding it on, and things slide on and off easier. Okay, makes sense, because I'm looking at this sight and usually it's rubbing across the top and the sides. Now it just rubs on the side, so it'll be easier getting things on and off. I have the AFG on there. I'm a big fan of that. But as far as major differences, that's all that I can tell you that's different about it. There's one more important thing, is the magazines. The magazines, this comes right from SIG Sauer. If you have a Gen 2 MPX, you really need to use Gen 2 magazines. And how to tell is the Gen 2 magazines have a brown or a flat dark earth follower in there. The Gen 1 magazines have a black follower. This is alright. I had to order mags from SIG Sauer because they're so hard to get. I had to order them directly from the company. So if you're getting a new MPX and it's a Gen 2, you're going to get one magazine, and you're going to have to go online and get a couple more from SIG Sauer. They are very expensive. They're very expensive. So I got I have 4 mags altogether. That's plenty for me. And that's all and there's one more thing. The trigger is really, really nice on the Gen 2. Now usually I go ahead and I put the Geisley trigger in. But when I was shooting this, I'm like, I'm not putting a Geisley trigger in this because it has a nice trigger. Very, very smooth. There's no gritty feel. It just glides. glides very nice. Now I don't know if they're all like that, but this one has a really nice trigger. Be careful if you change the trigger. Keep the original one, because it may void the warranty if you don't use there's a cover in there, and if you don't use that, you could void the warranty. So I'm glad I don't have to change the trigger on this one, because if anything goes wrong, I'm not voiding any warranty. And it has a really nice trigger pull. It's not super light, it's just super smooth. Light really isn't good, smooth is good. You know, you still want that poundage on there for safety, but I like a nice smooth trigger, and this has it, and it's only going to get better the more I shoot it. And it, you know, it does the same thing. It folds in half, and you can't go wrong with the CAC system. It's friggin' awesome. It really is. So that's it. So this is a fantastic home defense firearm. Why? Because it's a 9mm, and it's not, you know, anything super powerful that'll over penetrate and all that nonsense. So great for home defense. 9. Okay. And I just wanted to give you an update. I know you guys are probably wondering, because you know guns come and go on this channel, but I don't think this one's going anywhere. This is my Colt railgun. I've been shooting it, and every time I shoot it, it shoots wonderful. It's extremely, so far, very reliable. There's dog hair on it. The finish is looking great. It's actually a Cerakote from Colt. Colt Cerakoted it. It's a beautiful 1911. I love that everything's all blacked out. That's like a weakness for me when I see that. I love that. This is a very tight Colt. Most Colts, when you buy them, their tolerances are a lot looser than other manufacturers. They purposely do that, so you don't have to wait for a break-in period. But this particular one, the Colt railgun, is made very tight, slide to frame. Very tight. No rocking. It's like a Kimber. It feels just like a Kimber. Rock solid. But as far as me having any failures, there hasn't been any. Thank God. So if your gun's not having any failures, you know, obviously it really doesn't need a break-in period. Some 1911s are made really tight, and they jam once in a while, and after you shake them up a bit, after you get about you know, 500 to 800 rounds through them, they start running really sweet. But this, so far out of the box, has been 100%. It's a great 1911. I could shoot it very well. It has awesome Novak sights on there. They're very bright. They're not night sights, but they stand out. They come up real quick, and it's just a beautiful 1911. And I'm glad it's a Colt. Real nice trigger. Like I said, not a light trigger, but a smooth trigger, and you can keep yourself right on target. Beautiful rail system. I haven't put a light on it yet, but I don't know if I'm going to. I just like the way it looks. Okay. And these are Winchester hollow points. I forget what the frig they are. I gotta shoot them off soon. They've been in this gun. Well, they haven't been in the gun. Those bullets that are in the gun are very old. Need to shoot them and put new ones in there. But other than that, I just want to give you the update. If you're thinking about getting a Colt, get the Colt railgun. Not only does it look great, it's a beautiful shooting gun. And if you see any other videos on it, so far what I've seen is they've been 100% positive. Great front serrations. It's freaking awesome. Alright, I got two cute little flashlights here. Someone's going to win one of them. I have the Phoenix E01. That's here. It's a 13 lumen flashlight. Wow, it's not much, is it? Phoenix makes a decent light. I have a few. And we have a through night flashlight, same size, called the T01. The Phoenix, which is this one, has 13 lumens. Is that right? Really? That's it? That's what it says. 13 lumens. Unless they misprinted something. 13 lumens, so it's pretty bright. I mean, it's good for like finding the keyhole in your friggin' lock at nighttime when you're coming in your house. Then you have the through, and it's only one adjustment. That's it. Okay, you twist the head and that's it. This is the T01 from Through Night, and this has 125 lumens. Seriously? Geez, the lowest setting's like way over bright anyway. Okay, so that is the Through Night T01. Man, that'll light up your whole backyard. That's really, really light, really bright. I'm seeing blue spots. Hold on. Yep, super bright. 125 lumens. Same thing. You twist the head to make it activate. Fantastic for your keychain. It's great to have. Waterproof. Great quality, you know, Through Night's awesome quality. When you turn the head, it's very smooth, locks into place nicely. You can feel the rubber gaskets. It's very, very nice. It's not gritty and scratchy. This one's alright, but it doesn't feel nowhere near as good as the Through Night, and that light is kind of weak. But, I mean, it's okay. But the Through Night, you can see. I mean, give me a fucking break. Alright? That's a beautiful light. So, AAA battery. They both take AAA batteries, and which is great. And it comes with a keychain and a lock and all that stuff. And here's the nice packaging you get. And it comes with the keychain. I really don't use them myself. I just kind of put it right on my main keychain so it doesn't break off. And as you can see, this came in a cardboard paper bubble wrap. This comes in a metal box, so they just really know what they're doing. I don't think a clip is on here though. Let me make sure. Yeah, I don't see a clip. So it's more of just a keychain thing. It looks like it has a groove for a clip. You might be able to snap a clip on there, but I don't think it came with one. So AAA batteries, 125 lumens versus 13 lumens, and it's even smaller than the E01. So the winner to this Through Night flashlight is Jim Fink. He will be the winner of this flashlight. He has a job where he definitely could use this. It'll come in very handy for him, and I hope he enjoys it. So Jimmy, you're the winner of the Through Night T01 125 lumens AAA flashlight. Very, very nice. This little Phoenix, I don't know what we're going to do with it. I'll throw it on my keychain. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll put the link to this little flashlight right under the video, and you can go grab one for yourself.